Wusheng Funeral Parlor. Wusheng Funeral Parlor's philosophy is that no matter who you are, when it comes to socials or wealth, all those who leave this realm deserve to be sent off with honor. Hu Tao is the 77th director of this particular one. She has become well known across all of Liyue. As a young child, she is described as doing crazy things, one of them being sleeping in coffins. She conducted her first funeral ceremony when she was only at the age of 13, her grandfather's, who was the 75th director. Hu Tao's passion and past. Even though Hu Tao is a bit of a crazy wandering type of personality, she takes her responsibilities as funeral director seriously. People come to her for a funeral, she respects their wishes. Hu Tao believes that when the client asks how the funeral should be done, whether they want something spectacular or more down-to-earth type, she wishes for her undertakers to do the exact same thing in regard to the client. At times, though, her wandering takes the better of her. She will head out going to different places in Liyue looking for inspiration for her poems, which she can find in nearly anything, mainly at night. Two lions. One day Hu Tao was passing by the Ministry of Civil Affairs, which is located in Liyue Harbor. She saw the two stone lions in front of it, which are there to represent power and authority and protect the building. Soon after seeing them, she decided to give them names. The one on the left was named Whiskers, and the one on the right was named Mittens. Most nights the guards would hear someone outside and would go to check out the sound, just to find Hu Tao there playing with her two pets or cleaning them up. But one day Hu Tao just stopped showing up to see Whiskers and Mittens. The guards started to wonder why. After a couple of days, they got their chance to ask her why. She responded with, "Whisker and Mittens are adults now and can take care of themselves." Chi-Chi's Eternal. One day Hu Tao ends up meeting a little zombie girl named Chi-Chi. Hu Tao believes in an eternal rest of seeing all dead all around. She makes it her goal to give her friend Chi-Chi eternal rest. No, Chi-Chi does not want this. Hu Tao goes as far as putting Chi-Chi into a bag, starts taking her to the place that she set up for her. Every time Hu Tao comes close to trying to forcefully help her friend, Baju steps in to stop her. After a while of this, Hu Tao sends a letter to Chi-Chi saying that she's sorry that she hasn't been able to give her eternal rest yet, that she would still be trying to help her. She started to remember the ways that she hid from Hu Tao in the past. She kept reusing them in sense of not wanting Hu Tao once, gaining a massive hatred for Hu Tao. One day Hu Tao started to look more into Chi-Chi's history, learned out about the way she died, looked at who Chi-Chi is now, of how strong she is, will to survive. Hu Tao came to the conclusion that she would stop trying to give Chi-Chi an eternal rest. Taos Poetry. Even though Hu Tao is the director of the Wusheng Funeral Parlor, she is more known in Liyue for her poetry. Because of this, she gave herself the title Fishmonger of the Darkest Alleys. Throughout all of the poems she has written, her most famous work is called Heya. He is known all across of Liyue. Because of her fantastic poetry skills, King Cho decided he wanted to meet Hu Tao. The moment they met, they became friends. Their shared love of poetry. He could easily go back and forth when it came to created verses. Later on, Chongyun was dragged into one of Hu Tao and Chongyun's poetry battles to be the judge of the competition. Tao's Hat. The hat that Hu Tao always wears was passed down to her from the 75th director, Hu Tao's grandfather. But when she received the hat, it was about 2 sizes larger than she could wear, which caused her to make modifications to the hat so she could wear it as well. The process of resizing had taken her an entire day and night. Afterwards, the plum blossom that's on the side of her hat was picked from a tree that Hu Tao had planted herself, took care of. This hat means a lot to Hu Tao, never taking it off, snow or rain, making sure it is kept clean and in perfect condition. Hu Tao and the Pyro Vision. 75th director of the Wusheng Funeral Parlor Hu Tao's grandfather had just passed away, and his dying wish was for Hu Tao to do his ceremony. This would be Hu Tao's first ceremony that she had done, being at the age of 13 at the time. She did a fantastic job on everything that needed to be done for the funeral. Right after the funeral was over, Hu Tao grabbed her travel bag, which had just enough resources to survive for a few days, and made her way to the border. This is a place where the spirits of the dead cross over to the afterlife. After 2 days, Hu Tao made her way to the border, saw no signs of her grandfather. Because of this, she stayed there waiting until she passed out from the journey. She stayed for a couple more days, having spirits make fun of what she is doing, telling her to just go back. After those days, she realized after not seeing grandfather one last time, he must have crossed over as soon as he got there. Having not many resources left, Tab decided to head back to her home. To return, she emptied out her bag and saw that at some point, Pyro Vision was given to her. For being one of the few mortals to ever head to the border, she showed her strength and that she was given vision.